But
Right.
Pepe, I mean, what can I say about that brother,
Yeah.
man? It's he was a special kind of dude. Yeah, he definitely helped us a lot early on, because we I think we were cocky. I was definitely cocky. And I think I brought my whole sort of attitude to it kind of was contagious. And so we all thought we all thought we were record producers, even though we didn't know what record producers were, or what they did or anything like that. But we thought, since we were playing, you know we could play pretty much anybody's music that was out there. So we thought, it's easy to make our own music. But but the interesting thing is, I think for me, I thought, hey, my music is better than everybody's that's out. I always start from there. And then, my little friend had to sort of talk me down a little bit and try to, but no, man, this is, I was that guy. But Pepe came in and helped us understand how to organize tracks, you know, um, and on one hand, that's a good thing. On the other hand, it's debatable because we were serious musicians. We were doing serious musician type stuff, so we weren't just gonna take anybody's word for anything. It's like just because his name is Pepe and he came in, he's from New York and all of that, and he comes with Levon said, you guys, this guy's from New York and he's like this record producer and on and on and on. And, I'm always skeptical because I'm like, how do I know for real? He could be, and I was, I was that guy. I'm sorry, but I was. But he proved himself. And what he brought to us was really giving us an understanding on how to structure songs. And it really helped. It really helped and made a difference. I mean, because, we were writing a lot of demo tapes back then, and we, yeah, I mean, and
Wow.
Pepe, helped us kind of navigate that. Him and Banga was his bass player. Um, and so, yeah, it was definitely a very much needed transition to be able to have him do that. And then he brought us into, some sessions. The first time we did a session outside of our own thing, he had us come out to New York, just me and Prince, or Prince and I. He had us go out to New York and do a session, which is where "Feel for You" and um, uh, "Do Me Baby" came from. So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, they were supposed to be for a group that Pepe had us working on, and oddly enough, they didn't want to do either one of those two songs, and they wanted to do some very disco-y kind of things, and so that's what we
Right.
wound up doing.
They
Yeah,
missed out.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything happens for a reason,
Yeah.
as
Well,
they
well,
say.
Pepe was, off the top of my head, he definitely had love for you and Prince, and I remember specifically said once he gave the keys to the studio to you guys, it was all over from then. Something like that.
Well, that was Chris Moon, but
Okay.
Pepe, yeah, Pepe. We rehearsed down his basement.
Right.
Yeah, he was just, I mean, it was another open door, really, because we were, we had, obviously my mom's house was where we were kind of, really kind of honed in on our thing, but to be able to, but we didn't want everybody knowing where we were living because we were auditioning band members, and we didn't want them coming to, to our crib and just
Yeah.
dropping by because you know how
Right.
musicians can
Yeah.
sometimes be once they find out where you live. That's part of the reason why I had to move out of Minneapolis because people used to come by my crib all the time,
Right.
and it was not cool because I was trying to get work done, and it's great because at a certain I guess a certain level,
Hmm.
you reach that I mean some people get into the music business for the fringe benefits, I guess, that
Right.
really wasn't my thing. I mean, nothing against, and not that I didn't, partake in a few fringe benefits here and there, what can I say? But really,
Right.
to be honest with you, I was in music because I love music. I love making music, and I love what music represents. And I think a lot of times, you can get caught up in a lot of distractions, and they take you into different directions. And I remember one of the guys who signed me to my record deal um, was trying to talk me out of moving from Minneapolis to LA. Because when I said I got to get out of Minneapolis, I'm moving, and he said, "Well, why would you want to move?" He said, "In Minneapolis, you're a big fish in a small pond, and if you go to LA, you're gonna be a small fish in a big pond." And I was like, "Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's exactly
Oh,
what I
okay.
want to be." Yeah, so because I like the anonymity, and I'm again, I'm not in it for all the different you know all the other stuff that and I get it, nothing against, because a lot of people, that's their thing, and I mean, but as an artist, I think you got to be an artist. You got to keep creating, create new stuff, new adventures, new stories, tell new stories. The idea of you know resting on your laurels or resting on your history and your past. It's great to have a past, and
Right.
it's great to celebrate your past. But as an artist, you might want to. I'm about continuing to create new stories and bring. And that's how you bring young folks into this new um, into funk, into the kind of stuff that you create. If you want it to be around and to
Hmm.
continue, to speak, on your behalf and the behalf of the people whose shoulders you stand on, you got to keep updating it. You can't let that funk get moldy. You
Yeah.
gotta, you gotta,
Well, I think
you gotta
you
create
did
some new
pretty good
funk.
for yourself moving out there. I mean, producing
Mm,
Jody Watley, Best New
mm.
Artist of the Year Grammy winner, and writing all those
Yeah,
songs for her. And so,
yeah, that was
yeah,
fun. Yeah,
you did all
that
right for
was.
yourself. You did great. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And the girls,
yeah,
a lot of people don't know much about the girls
yeah,
because the
yeah. That's
girls
right.
project,
Sheila Rankin. Yeah,
they're yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Doris Rhodes and
right.
Jermaine Brooks. I mean,
Jermaine
they were
Brooks. Yeah, she's
amazing.
still. I see her online. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No,
I still
I
got that
mean,
record. I got it in the closet here. So,
yeah,
great
those
record.
girls
Yeah,
could sing. I mean,
right.
and they were really, really, I mean, they were really all about it. I just really wish we could have, really kind of took the time to develop them the way that they should have been developed. Because I think
Yeah,
they could have been, could have been a really big, important girl group because they were very talented.
right. Just the one record with them, right?
Yeah, yeah, just the one
Yeah,
record.
right. Um, Something really special when people get the album, and we encourage people they can pre-save it right now. Go to Bandcamp, and August 14th, the official release. You're not cheating the listeners out of any music right there. You got track after track, slam and funk, but you did something real nice at the end. You've got Before Stone and Love. You got two ballads
Mm-hmm.
that
Hmm.
Hard Candy and Velvet Jones. Man, you hitting the falsetto
Yeah.
on that one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of a throwback to the kind of stuff we used to do when I was, we were trying to work on our Grand Central thing.
yeah,
One of these days, I'm gonna have to, because I have, some of our demo tapes, and they're really, really strong, and people would be blown away if they heard those demos because it would help them understand a lot about, um, you know, our early days, our evolution, our writing process, and
hmm,
how it came from, point A to what people came to, recognize as the Minneapolis Sound. Because I mean, a lot of, I guess the Minneapolis Sound has a lot of fathers these days.
yeah, right.
But the one thing that I have are, what they call receipts, and
Yep.
the receipts are the demo tapes that you can't deny because
Grand
you hear them and
Central,
you
or
go,
yeah,
yeah, Grand
yeah,
Central and
Grand Central
Champagne. When
and
you hear
Champagne.
them, you
Hmm.
go, oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
okay,
that's where it's from.
that's where it's from,
Yeah,
And I didn't go back and make it.
right.
It's they are what they are, and people will be blown away when they hear them, which is